Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to Social Impact Innovation Alliance SIIA launch event. And I'm To from Cambria. It's my great honor to be your host today. In today's event, we would like to introduce about the alliance with insightful sharing from member projects. We're excited about bringing together like minded individuals and organizations committed to driving positive change through innovative solutions. The event has three key sections, including Cambria introduction about the Alliance and partnership invitation, three sessions with the sharing from member projects and Q&A from the community, and minigame announcement and next milestones. Now, please join me to welcome from Cambria, we have Miss Lin Cao, our CEO, and the Cambria team with Miss Jane Nguyen, Mr. Ivan Tệ, and Miss Thảo Trần will also accompany us in this event. And it's our great honor to welcome our member projects. The first member project is Fox Global Research and Consultancy Center. The focus on dairy sector such as economic research, policy analysis and advice, and the fresh herbal sector like direct-to-home herb production. Our second member project is Tau Climate. Tau Climate's overarching mission is to stop climate change by removing carbon dioxide from the air at scale and using the captured carbon to build a better, sustainable world. The third one, we have Vision Plan. Vision Plan builds innovation at scale for the private and public sectors using the world's leading methods and an international network of change agents. The fourth member project is Umubay Elevate UE Limited. UE Limited is a health tech innovation focused on improving maternal and child health in Rwanda and beyond. The fifth one, we have Pivotal AI. Pivotal AI is a software development company that specializes in creating bespoke data-driven solutions with a focus on quick MVP creation, data engineering, web development, AI, and cloud systems. And our last member project today is Vietnam Silicon Valley VSV Foundation, which is a government-backed initiative launched in 2013 to create a supportive environment for startups in Vietnam. The Ministry of Science and Technology developed the initiative, which is executed by the VSV team. One more time, please join me to welcome our member projects and participants. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Lin Cao to share about the Social Impact Innovation Alliance.
Thank you, Thư. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah. So hello everyone. In this presentation, we would like to share an overview about the Social Impact Innovation Alliance to drive social change through collective innovation. If this resonates with you, join us to be a part of this initiative. The outline of this presentation is first an introduction about Cambria, the Social Impact Innovation Alliance, and our member projects. Overview of our shared values, Alliance activity. We will also share information about Alliance membership and milestone update. First, an introduction about Cambria. Cambria is an open innovation platform for deep tech such as AI, robotics, blockchain, AR, VR, IoT, with a mission to shape the future of technology, where technology is open and contributes more to society. We started building Cambria because we saw a huge waste and inefficiency in today's innovation model. As we usually see, university research projects left with it. Staff invention lost forever, individual contribution are fragmented, while corporate thrive on their patent and secret. To solve that problem, our approach is to democratize and decentralize 5 areas: ownership, development, manufacturing, commercialization, and enforcement of technology. We launched our platform in 2018 and since then have implemented several initiatives in which, with the Open Innovation Hub, we aim to foster a global network to accelerate open innovation all around the world. We have many established partners coming from different sectors, developer communities, innovation sponsors, government and incubation partners, and the labs and university and expert network. We are open to collaboration with anyone who share the same goals and views with us and we want to be your trusted partner too. And there, the Social Impact Innovation Alliance began. On Canberra's journey, we are grateful to have chances to connect with many inspiring projects and teams. So we came up with the idea to call for community to come together in a Social Impact Innovation Alliance. The joint forces of visionary projects and organizations dedicated to harnessing the power of innovation for positive social change. Currently, there are 18 member projects in the alliance from different sectors: green initiative, education, healthcare, and technology. It's our great honor to have your participation in the alliance. For more information about this member project, please visit our SIIA page. So, member projects in the alliance share common values, including first, social impact innovation. We have a clear mission and commitment to creating positive social change through innovation. We aim to address social, environmental, or economic challenges and make a tangible difference in people's lives. Second, ethical practices. Member projects adhere to ethical standards and promote responsible and inclusive technology development. Scalability and sustainability. Member projects have the perspective to scale their impact and be financially sustainable in the long term. Collaboration and partnership. We are willing to collaborate and actively participate in a community of like-minded organizations. There are many activities that the community in this alliance can do together, such as knowledge sharing and best practices, collaborative research and development, funding and grant opportunities, networking and partnership, community event and meetups, social impact showcase, challenges and hackathons for social group, volunteer days, and advocacy and policy engagement. Participation in this alliance is in the spirit of openness. If your project is interested to participate, please fill in the sign-up form demonstrating how it aligns with the direction of the alliance. Regarding activities, member projects share proposal of program and activity that they would like to host. Other members can choose which activity they are interested in to join. Regarding communication channels, information of member project will be updated on SIIA page, and we will have a dedicated discussion channel in Canberra Discord for activity of the Alliance. Today is an important milestone for us. Our Social Impact Innovation Alliance is officially launched with 3 activities: Social Impact Showcase, Knowledge Sharing and Best Practice, and Collaboration Ideas. We're looking forward to learn about the journeys, sharings, and ideas of our member project in today's event and more in the future. Thank you for listening and join us in making a difference together.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Miss Lin, for sharing with us the information about the Social Impact Innovation Alliance. Okay, so now let's start our first session with social impact showcases. First of all, I would like to invite Mr. Amit Saha from Fox Global Research and Consultancy Center to start your presentation with the topic Global Dairy Farm Tech Innovations Optimizing for Local Social Impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Sven, for inviting me. Let me share my PPT. Is it visible?
Yeah, thank you so much. We can see your screen now.
Okay, fine. Okay, first of all, again, thanks a lot for this initiative to Cambria, and my congratulations. It is very much needed in today's society, and first of all, a very good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are from the globe. So today my topic is Global Dairy Farm Tech Innovations Optimizing for Local Social Impact. Just a small background about me. So I will start with the outline, like what my company is doing, and then we will talk about the reason why we are working in this sector, and then we'll have a case study because I am into the dairy sector. So we'll look into how the dairy sector, the impact of innovations, and how you can use the digital technologies for strategy selection for a sustainable social impact. And finally, what could be the prospective role of SIIA in this process? So about my company, Fox Global. So our aim is to drive towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. So that is a self-sufficient India, which is getting from a developing to a developed world, a developed country in the next 25 years. So we'll be completing 100 years of our independence in 2047. So in that regard, so Fox Global is actually Frontiers of Grassroots Sustainability Global, and it's a research and consultancy center. We established in 2021. And our vision is to bring about a sustainable transformation in the global food and health livelihood systems through the use of frontier technologies. And for this, our mission is to identify those technologies which are at the grassroots level and can be implemented sustainably at the local level. So keeping that in mind, because my expertise in dairy is for more than 20 years globally, I have been working in different organizations across the world. And so I have been perplexed by the differences in technology, in the wealth distribution, and in the inequity that is there in the dairy world. And so I initiated that how can we bring a sustainable transformation through this initiative. And also I have into the fresh herbal services. So that is because somehow the food is linked in that regard. So we are also into the fresh herbs development of models. Now coming to the clear issue, like what I mean by global divide. So the global divide is in the three aspects: the income distribution, wealth, and productivity across the world. So if you can see in this slide, this is from the IMF, that there is a huge disparity in the wealth distribution. So you can find the GDP per capita varying from 2.7 million euro per capita to less than 300 euros. And the surprising fact is that 1% of the population in the world is accounting for 40% of the wealth. This is as per the IMF data. So this huge disparity inequality in the wealth distribution, I feel, is mainly because of the access to innovation, technology, and mechanization that has led to this kind of situation. Though we are living in one world, so there is such a huge disparity. And also, if you see the Sustainable Development Goals, and this is one of the priority to reduce inequalities. So keeping that in mind, mine is a non-profit venture to bring about social change, because unless we take some initiatives, just like what SIIA is doing, we cannot bring a change in the very near future. So that's why we like-minded people need to come together and work in that cause. So since I have a background in dairy for over 20 years, so I selected the dairy sector. Of course, this could be applicable in other sector as well. So let's look into a case study where we can see how sustainable strategies can bring about an equitable world in the dairy sector. So when we talk about dairy farming systems across the world, my motive is not to compare dairy farming systems, which is better or not, but how we can develop the sustainable strategies at a local level using the global data, knowledge, and inspiration. So before we are able to compare, we need to set benchmarks. So if you see the sustainable dimensions, there are mainly 4 dimensions. So one is the economic sustainability. So we have some indicators there. Then you have social sustainability, lifestyle, and health sustainability. So now you can see that since I am a member of the IFC and Dairy Network, we have access to data for dairy farms across the world. So here you have farms from India, 4Cow in Gujarat, from Germany, from US and New Zealand. So it is possible to compare these farms. So that is the first step of understanding what is the differences in those farming systems. And then we find that there is a big difference in the social inequity in terms of labor productivity, the wage level and the parity farm income. And this difference is huge. And that is the prime reason we find that economic divide that I showed in the first slide of from IMF. Like basically is productivity that is driving this wealth distribution. So how can we bring that change? So the first step is to benchmark these farms and understand where we can improve upon. So here you can find these two farms. I've compared 300 cow farm in India and a 500 cow farm in Wisconsin. And this is the frontier level and what is the potential to improve these farm types in each of these sustainability dimension. So that is one area that I'm working upon. The second is strategy selection. How can you select the sustainable strategies for the farm development in the future? So for that, we have developed a system called the Dairy Impact Assessment System in our organization, wherein it is a 3I approach, where the first step is to identify the local technologies that are existing in the area, and then determine what is the impact of these technologies. And finally, with the stakeholders, we implement these technologies. And it follows a 10-step process where we assess the resources and how these resources are managed, and then it goes in a cycle so that it's a cyclic process of review and development. So just to give you a case study, how we saw that a 4-cow farm in India can improve its farm income by implementing our methodology. So by analyzing this farm, we found that the labor productivity in this farm is very low if you compare with the global standards. Like labor productivity is just 1% of the New Zealand 384 cow farm. The herd productivity as well is very low, 1/3 to 1/4 of that, and farm income is just 1% of a New Zealand farm. So what can we do at the local level? So we thought of three technology introductions. So one is milking technology, the second is increasing the herd size, and third is breed selection. And then when we put it in our model, we had two steps. First step is how the farmer can increase the herd size from 4 to 10 animals. And the second step is that how you can improve the breed from the local breed to crossbred animals, and then introducing technologies like from hand milking to this kind of bucket machine milking technologies. So, and then using our model, it was possible to see what is the impact. So we can see clear impact in terms of reduction in the cost by 50% from 29 rupees per kg milk to 20 rupees per kg milk. That has an immediate effect in making the income 4 times higher, from 450 to 2000 rupees. So such small steps can bring a very big social impact. And then the only issue is that how do you implement this in the field? And there the role comes of SIIA. So in case of SIIA, in case of dairy, what my proposal is that we have already identified about 500 dairy farm processes that happens in a dairy farm. And each process, there could be more than 500 technologies that is available globally. So we are trying to somehow benchmark all these technologies and then see which technology suits to that particular farm conditions. So for me, that now the role of SIIA comes here. Like we could introduce different types of tokens. Like we could have tech tokens, that is the technology tokens in different aspects of the dairy farm, like dairy breeds, animal feeds, dairy machines, different types of models of dairy housing, animal care, veterinary drugs. Similarly, we could have the farm service tokens on different areas. Like what I'm right now doing is farm benchmarking, and then the different aspects of management of the dairy farm. Then another area is very important is education and training of the dairy farmers. So that also is possible nowadays because internet in India, like already 5G technology is available even in the rural side. So very broad stream technology, and you can use that for training in different areas. So that is again a very big aspect for communication with the farmers. So, and to start with, my proposal is that we would have some token ETFs for the different technology aspects. And one is silage making. That is, the silage is the feed that is used for feeding the dairy cows, that improves the dairy yield and productivity. The second is dung processing. From dung, you are making the vermicompost, and which has a higher value in the market. So that also increases the income. And the third area is farm benchmarking, like benchmarking the local farm globally, and then understand where your farm stands. So these are the three areas that I am planning to start my with the token ETFs, the DO that I'm proposing. And then again, digital technologies like already AI is used a lot in the dairy farms already. So that is another area that we can think of using AI for collecting data and monitoring and evaluation. The other is like how we can bring the different stakeholders. So all these companies which are dealing with the farm inputs, how they can be brought together, and that data sharing and also, I think that is a big area that we need to work upon. And especially, I think SIIA is already specialized in this area, so we could discuss in a separate forum how this could be possible. So finally, our website, if you want to know more about what we are doing, there is a foxglobal.in wherein we have all these areas in the area of dairy development, especially for milk shed planning and the farm planning. So that is our focus that we are doing. So that's in just a short about what we have planning to start with SIIA, the platform. So thank you, and I look forward to any questions that I would be able to answer in this regard. Thanks a lot. I hope I'm in time.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Amit Saha, for your dedicated and insightful sharing. Okay, yeah, so move to the next one. I would like to invite Mr. Gary Burns from Tau Climate to share with us the topic, how we plan to solve the climate crisis by building sustainable housing with industrial. Thank you.
Hello. It's wonderful to be with everybody today, and congratulations on the launch of the wonderful alliance, which I'm very confident is going to deliver impacts on a global scale. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, we can see it now. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So Tau Climate is a green fintech business. We're working with Google to deliver vast impacts into climate action and also delivering sustainable cities and communities. We've just recently been funded by the Irish government VC fund, Enterprise Ireland. And our big idea is that we use industrial hemp, the crop, to recycle CO2 into housing, and we want to help make construction sustainable. Our core value is in environmental leadership. This really impacts everything that we do. We feel that everybody is aware that we need to take action to help prevent the global temperature increase from rising much more. But there are very few mechanisms, very few ideas that people can actually use to take action. So our core belief is that we need to offer people the mechanisms that will enable action to be taken both at a local and personal level, but also at a global and collective level. And our belief is that by creating sustainable building solutions, we will help to deliver a healthier planet. So the problem at the moment is that there is too much CO2 in the air. Even if we evolve to a zero carbon global economy tomorrow, there is still too much CO2 in the air, which is going to keep heating up the planet for the coming decades. So we need to remove vast quantities of CO2 from the air. We've already increased the global temperature by 1.5 degrees. And if we don't want to exceed the 2-degree warming limit, we need to take action fast. Now, this is all happening in the context that the existing carbon credit products on the market in the form of forestry carbon credits and also direct air capture carbon credits, these big machines, these have been shown to be potentially worthless, potentially harmful, and even the UN says direct air capture can pose unknown risks. Also, when companies, big tech companies, small companies, all kinds of companies, when they purchase carbon credit products at the moment from these technologies, they're a sunk cost. They go in as a cost on the profit and loss sheet, and there's no return on these carbon credit purchases. So we want to change the business model also. So looking at forestry on the left-hand side, it's cheap, but it's cheap because it's ineffective, and it's also very, very slow. It can take up to 40 years to deliver a net carbon gain. It can't really be measured until you cut down the tree. Direct air capture is very, very expensive. We know that some technology companies are paying up to $1,500 per ton of CO2 captured. Very high power consumption, and it's also very slow. If you put in a direct air capture order today, you won't get that fulfilled for 6 years. Also, after spending all that money, all that energy, all that effort in removing this carbon from the air, they put it into a hole in the ground. Whereas our new category of carbon credit uses hemp, it uses the power of the sun to remove CO2 very, very quickly. In hot climates, you can grow 3 crops of hemp in 1 year. So it's essentially real-time carbon removal. And key for us is the fact that we use the carbon fiber from the plant to create construction materials, sustainable construction materials, also biofuels, bioplastics, and you can even have vast co-benefits in terms of benefiting nature and biodiversity. For example, bees love the pollen from hemp and it feeds them late into the season. We can also measure and weigh the carbon captured by the hemp plants. So we've got all the advantages of direct air capture, plus it's much, much faster and it doesn't consume so much power. Hempcrete is the remarkable building material that's basically made from the stalk fiber from the hemp plant when mixed with lime and water. And it's non-toxic construction material. It can do pretty much anything that concrete can do, except for its compressive strength is not as strong as concrete. That can be dealt with through things like hemp carbon fiber reinforcing bars, or potentially even a small amount of cement going into the mixture. So there's a lot of motion towards adopting hempcrete on a massive scale. It's just recently being allowed into the US building codes, which is a very, very significant step forward. It's already legal in the EU, and essentially not only does it create a wonderful living environment because it's anti-mold, it's anti-pest, it's fire resistant, but it continues to absorb CO2 from the air when it's actually in situ. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. Our pilot project is almost complete in Ukraine. The impacts here have been certified by Google. The QR code here will bring you to a short film about our project, and you can meet the people behind it. So we've partnered with the local project team in Ukraine, in Western Ukraine, and what they've done is they've grown hemp locally, and then they've used the hemp carbon fiber to build this accommodation for people who've lost their homes in the conflict and also war orphans. And in so doing, they've taken over 1,000 tons of CO2 from the air and locked it away, as well as displacing CO2 that would otherwise have been created if they used cement and concrete. And what we've done is we've brought the carbon credits from this project to market. So when we sell these carbon credits to our customers, 2/3 of the revenue goes back to the project to actually fund the project. So this is an example of the model that is a complete end-to-end process, and using our technology, we aim to scale this out, and we want to have projects like this happening all over the world at a very significant scale. So when we work with our carbon credit customers, we help them to measure, minimize, and then manage their carbon footprint. And the technology we're building, including AI capabilities, will be the world's leading carbon footprint management platform. Our main audience at the moment is airlines. So our goal is to work with airlines all over the world to be able to sell carbon credits to their passengers. So we would work with their flight data systems to measure the carbon footprint of a passenger on a typical flight. So for example, a Dublin to London return flight has a carbon footprint of about 76 kilograms per passenger. So we would integrate with the airline systems to get a clear measurement of that, and then also to offer our carbon credits to the passengers. Then we pay the farmer to grow the hemp. We are integrating with Google satellite systems, which will monitor the crop growing. So that verifies that the crop is growing. And then when the passenger purchases the carbon credit through the airline app, we split the revenues with the airline. Then once the hempcrete blocks have been made from the stalks, that sequesters the carbon for periods of hundreds of years. And once that happens and is verified, then we pay the block maker. And we want that circular economy to keep building and accelerating so that we can deliver scale into the impacts we want to make a difference at. Real estate is the world's largest asset class. So not only is it something that we can really deliver value to our customers by participating in real estate asset creation, but we want to help people because from the basic shelter level all the way up through to confidence and purpose, quality housing is possibly the most important thing that we can deliver to the world at scale, and that's our goal. So just this week, we've learned that we're in Elon Musk's top 100 most promising carbon removal companies in the world. We've been participating in that for the last 3 years, so we're very excited about that. And the World Bank says that by 2030, 300 million new housing units are required worldwide. This is a staggering statistic, and 40% of the world's population needs new housing very, very quickly. So we believe that our fintech platform model is the way to grow carbon markets, to house the world, and to stop climate change. And it's great that we can help share our story and share our vision with the Cambria and the SIIA Alliance. And really, we'd love to connect with everybody to see, can we deliver our projects all over the world at scale very, very quickly, because time is running out, guys. So thank you so much. It's been a wonderful opportunity to be with you today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Gary Burns. Thank you one more time for your interesting sharing with the meaningful projects that you guys are working on to contribute to the community. Thank you so much. Okay, and along our journey, we have received questions from the community and would also love to raise them with our speakers to hear insightful sharing from you all. Let's start with the question for Fox Global Research and Consultancy Center. So the question is, how do you ensure the AI-enabled platform for dairy farming technology selection aligns with the varying needs and technological capacities of farmers in less developed regions? I would like to invite Mr. Amit Saha to share the answers with us. Thank you.
Sure. Actually, I have just prepared a small slide I would like to share with you with this question. So that it is important to understand, like how, because once we work in a social arena, it is a little bit different from the digital world. So the drivers are basically three. So how you communicate when you work in the social environment. The second is the technical tools. I think SIIA is expertising in that area. And the third is building the social network. So let me go into the social communication drivers. So this is one very important area. You need to understand the context when we work with the people, let's say, because mine is in the rural background, like what culture they're coming, what is the political behind this, what is the social issues behind that. Once we enter into that area, you need to establish rapport with that local community, and need to know how you can work with them by involving the community in the process of development. And the fourth area is creating alliances with the local stakeholders. You need to involve them in the decision making process. And finally, once you do the process, you need to evaluate and adapt any kind of changes that you feel and review. So that is the social thing. The second is the technical driver. So for me, it is very important that the technologies that is available right now, the digital technologies, can be used to deliver in the maximum potential. One is the digital networking, and then the data management. Then we have the web and mobile apps and tools. So that is very important, especially the GitHub. So I think that is already there in SIIA that we use that. And then another area is digital AI, IoT tools and DOs. That can be used to the maximum extent, and the communication tools like metaverse, especially the virtual reality that I mentioned, is also there to be used. So just to give you a background how we are working, actually we are setting up hubs for different areas, and like we have breeding areas, then you have the fodder areas. So you have the local agents in a particular locality who will act as extension agents for the villages. So that is how the model works, because the digital space cannot be explored into that extent individually. So the creation of hubs is one aspect. The second is like we develop this kind of mobile apps wherein you are able to collect the data on ground using the local language as well. That is possible using Google platform. And the third is this metaverse. So that is another area we are exploring, like how you can simulate a farm and see that what will be the change. Like in this shed, the housing management, the herd management from the actual to the simulation. So how you the farmers could visualize like this would be the change, and also you can link that with the real-time data on what will be the impact on the productivity and economic drivers. So that is another area that we are thinking of working. Then we have the network drivers. So that is again like the platform for getting membership, creating the geolocation hubs, partnership communities, and social and tech infrastructure mapping. So at a national level, we are creating this kind of hubs at a very block level, so that that membership part is taken care of, and from there we are able to launch. So right now we are in the state called Gujarat in the western India, and where we are launching this how you can transform the manure to vermicompost. So those hubs we are creating now in some villages here. So this is just to show you the value proposition. So what benefit and this you'll be getting by using the technologies. And just another example, like Amul, which is the main processing and production company in India for milk, has already lots of DOs, but those are offline. So again, we need to have this differentiation between online and offline or hybrid model. So that is another area I think we can approach the rural communities for using this technology. I hope it helps.
Yeah, thank you so much. We noted all of your insightful sharing, and absolutely we'll share it again with the community. Thank you so much for the contribution. Yeah, so move to the next one. We also received a question for our member project. We have Tau Climate. Now, the question is, how does your software platform enhance the efficiency of connecting carbon value creators with market demands? And what are the key challenges you face in scaling this technology? Yeah, I would like to invite Mr. Gary Burns to help share the answer with the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, very interesting question. The key to their technology needs around what we're delivering in terms of value is the speed of hemp in removing CO2 from the air, like 4 to 5 months crop from seed to outputs to hempcrete production. So the existing systems for verifying carbon credits essentially involve somebody physically going to a forest every couple of years to see that the trees have been planted and they're still growing. That's not scalable, and it's also very, very slow. So in order to resolve the issue around verification of our hemp carbon credits, we actually need technology. So that's where the satellite imagery comes in, so that the Google Earth engine, for example, that we'll be integrating into our platform, takes fresh photos of a location every 10 days. So we can monitor the crop as it's growing. We can also monitor the housing as it's being built. We also want to use user-generated content so that the grower, wherever they are in the world, can input data through an app, and then that flows into the platform as well to create the carbon credits. So as soon as we have a threshold of data comes together, then we can offer the carbon credits to sit for sale to help fund the project. And the second part of the question, in terms of challenges, Yeah, it's really because this is a very new approach to dealing with carbon credits and to verifying carbon credits. So we want to make it very, very easy for people to add data so that, for example, even somebody growing in a low connectivity area, the app for gathering data around growing the crop needs to be able to hold on to that data until you reach connectivity, for example, and the user experience needs to be designed so that anybody anywhere in the world can understand it and can see the benefits of working with us on our platform. And then in terms of credibility in the marketplace, working with Google on this technology development, we believe is a very powerful validation of what we're doing. And we're actually going to be working with some Google software engineers as well in the coming years to build out the software. So we're very excited about that. And we're never happy until we can deliver real value to everybody involved in the processes. And you know, we've got the rest of this decade to make significant impacts on climate, and we're very excited about that. Thank you.
Yeah, we are also feeling so excited to hear your sharing. One more time, thank you so much for your visions and your journey as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so now let's turn to our second session, knowledge sharing and best practices. Now, we would love to invite Miss Madeline Najia Kazindu from Umubai Elevate Limited. Please share with us the topic UAE's community activities impact. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. We can hear you now and we can also see the screen. Thank you so much.
Okay. Wait a bit. Okay. Sorry. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Madeleine Kazindu. I'm a medical doctor based in Rwanda, and I'm also part of health tech company called Umubyeyi Elevate. And I'm going to present on behalf of Umubyeyi Elevate, and we're gonna take you through our community activities and the impact that they have made. Okay, so where does Umubyeyi Elevate originate? So actually, Umubyeyi is a Kinyarwanda noun which translates to parent, but it's mostly used for mothers. And yeah, when someone says Umubyeyi, you automatically relate to a mother, even though it's a word for both parents. And Umubyeyi Elevate was founded by a colleague of mine at the time who was called Umunyana Marie Chantal. She was a medical student and a mother, and she was struggling to get information on pregnancy and motherhood. And she was in the field, so she had a little information. So she imagined what it would be for other mothers who do not have even that little information. So that's where the idea came from. So she started it to give information about motherhood and child well-being to mothers. So that's the reason why she used Umubyeyi as the name of the company. Sorry, my screen is so slow.
Yeah. Please feel free to share with us if you need any further support. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let me use this mode. I think it's better.
Yeah.
Oh. So can you help with the presentation?
Yeah, sure. Please wait for 1 minute. Our team members will prepare the slide for you. Okay, please wait a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, do you see my screen?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, so you can start your presentation and you just like notice me a little bit, so I will go to next slide for you.
So I was on the origin slide. Okay, we can move to the next slide. Okay, so a little bit of the background. Actually, here in Africa, infant mortality rate is still high, where it stands at 41.5 per 1,000 live births. And particularly in our country, in Rwanda, it's at 30 out of 1,000 live births. And to understand the gravity of the situation in Europe, it's only 3 per 1,000 live births, and in the US it's about 5. So as you can see, it's still high in our region, in our African region, and in our country. There has been much efforts that were made to improve the infant mortality, but it's still high. So also maternal mortality rate in Africa, it's about 531 per 100,000 live births. And in Rwanda, it's 248 per 100,000 live births. So Rwanda is really putting much effort in both issues in the health sector, but still the number is high compared to other regions of the world. So this tells us the necessity of what we're doing. And our vision as Umubyeyi Elevate is to actualize safe and healthy deliveries for every woman globally and enabling them to experience the joys of motherhood without fear. And how do we do that? First of all, we recognize the necessity of maternal and child health and parenting education. And we couple it with support through a reliable source, which is us, to enable individuals to make informed decisions about their health and to help them implement positive health practices in their routines. Next. So what have we been able to do so far? So we have started education on different platforms, including Twitter and Instagram, mainly because they're mostly used by Rwandans. So on Twitter, we have been able to educate about 628 people. And on Instagram, we have been able to educate about 970 people. And they give positive feedback, and they usually reach out to us telling us how helpful we were in their journeys. And we have also managed to come up with something called the B Space. It's a space that's safe for our different target groups, not only mothers, but also both parents, the fathers and mothers. And the B Spaces bring together those beneficiaries plus the experts. For example, if we're talking about a certain complication in pregnancy, we invite mothers and husbands, although the participation is lower, and we invite doctors to come and talk to people in regards to that particular issue. And in the B spaces that we have managed to do so far, we have physically empowered about 150 people, and they really think that the spaces were helpful for them. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next.
Okay. This one?
I don't think I'm seeing it.
Everyone, can you like see my screens?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, we can wait for 1 minute. So, Miss Kazindo, can you see the screen now?
No, I'm seeing our impact screen.
Oh, maybe the Wi-Fi connection. Okay.
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so our continued efforts. So we look forward to starting a virtual learning environment. So basically a website that has the learning materials in a very easy language for people to understand. Both English and Kinyarwanda and French, those are the languages mainly used here in Rwanda, but in simpler terms for non-medics to understand. And this virtual learning environment will also have the experts, including doctors and including different people in different areas, such as nutritionists. So depending on the health issues that we will tackle on the virtual learning environment. So that's one of the plans that we have. And the B spaces, in regards to the B spaces, we have been doing them in only Kigali. Kigali is the capital city of Rwanda, but we want to scale them to rural areas of Rwanda because there is also a necessity of the information, especially that the maternal mortality is even higher in rural areas compared to the city here in Rwanda. So we want to scale them to other places of the country and making sure that they tackle regional specific issues. And in the B spaces in the rural areas will also be done in different ways, engaging in different ways, engaging the community health workers, who are already existing and serving the population in regards to health, and using modalities that are quite traditional compared to what we're doing in the cities. And we also intend to develop a diagnostic and surveillance application, which will help us in tracking the maternal issues, especially in villages, in rural areas, these tools will be used by existing health workers, such as midwives, nurses, and community health workers to help them diagnose issues easily and to help them also to also help us in surveillance and understanding like what's really taking place there and hence implementing appropriate solutions. Next. So what are the best practices so far that we have managed to work on as a company? So first of all, we have a multidisciplinary team. So as you can see, this is a health-oriented company, but our team is made of different people, including doctors, including nutritionists, including people in marketing, in tech. So this has helped us in navigating different complexities of that most startups go through. And we have also worked on our visibility. So starting from scratch and no one knows you, that's difficult. And we used social platforms like social media, of course, to make people know us and to shout and shout and shout. And also we have also engaged our friends to help us spread the word about what we're doing. And for example, if we prepared events and I knew of mothers, I told them, please come to this event and please invite your friends by word of mouth, and it worked. And we also search for different events that are specific for our areas of work, and we participated, tried to get people to know us and try to get to know other people who are working in the same field, and this has helped us get some money, which is difficult for many startups, and also people to know what we're doing and participate in what we're doing. Next. So thank you. That's all about what we're doing as Omobie Elevet. Thank you for listening to us and for selecting a presentation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kazindu, for your sharing. So we also can see that it's such a very meaningful and innovative project, right? Okay, one more time. Thank you so much. So Ms. Kazindu, we also have a question that raised from the community for you. So the question is, how does the BSpace platform integrate with traditional community engagement strategies to enhance the effectiveness of your maternal health programs? Yeah, so please help to share the answers with the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So to answer these questions, I will let you know about our social as Rwandans. So here in Rwanda, people love community, love engaging with each other. So we have big families, so people love sitting together and talking to each other and holding conversations. So when we were thinking of the bee spaces, we took into consideration that, and we say that bringing something that brings people together, this is something we usually do in our homes. So now, like, how about we bring these people to come and discuss about these pressing issues and give them space to express what they feel, what they have passed through, and also bring someone to actually educate them on the matter. So that's, we took into consideration that, and it was really helpful. And the other thing that we integrated in the bee spaces is storytelling. It's not only like the expert coming and telling people about so and so and so and so, but also storytelling. So we usually have one mother come and take us through the stories of what they went through as a mother, and all of that. It's part of the agenda of what's covered in the bee spaces, and like what it's like depending on different topics. And then people now get to open up and speak, and then the expert comes in to give their opinion, and they also get to even ask them. And the other thing, everyone uses a language that's comfortable for them. For us, it's mainly Kinyarwanda, our local language, but also people who are not, who use English mostly, they're also free to do that. And the other things that we want to put in consideration in regards to the traditional include the scaling of the bee spaces to the rural areas, where we will even have to apply that the tactics that work for the rural communities, which do not necessarily work for the urban communities, including using purely Kinyarwanda, because not many people there use English, and also engaging the people that work with them day to day, and not only ask and tell them stuff, but also engaging people that work with them day to day, including community health workers, who, by the way, have helped in prevention of different health issues here in Rwanda, and are playing a big part in the health sector, especially in prevention and early diagnosis here in Rwanda. So that's what we have done and what we intend to do in regards to using traditional practices in making our efforts more meaningful to the community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We noted your sharing, and absolutely we'll share it again with the community. So as you can see from our team, Miss Lin, she also has a question for you. So we would love to ask that why the infant mortality rate and maternal mortality rate are higher, as you mentioned in the slide. So please share with us your answers. Thank you so much.
The infant and maternal mortality rate, the reasons why they're higher in the African region, first of all, we do not have like enough health personnel. We do not have enough equipment, and our health systems are poorly financed. So I think all of these issues play a huge role in maternal mortality. And the other thing, which has made a tremendous impact here in Rwanda, but is not being done in other areas, but I think has worked here in Rwanda, is educating the community about like health issues and why they should go and consult. But in other areas of Africa, most people do not even know that this is an issue, and by the time that they go to the hospital, then they're in danger. So I think those are the main reasons why the infant and maternal mortality rates are high here in Africa compared to other regions of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your sharing. Okay, so I'd like to invite Mr. David Finkelstein from Pivotal AI to share with us the topic transforming animal welfare, leveraging technology and community for shelter dog adoption. Thank you so much.
Everyone, thank you for having me.
Hello.
I hope you can see and hear me well. Just a
Thank you.
second. Let me share my screen. Okay, let me know if you can see my presentation.
Yeah. So
Just
please
a
wait for
second.
1 minute. Yeah, we can see your screen now. Thank you.
Okay, great. Just can you see how slides moving now? Just to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Hi.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, so hi again, my name is David. Today I'm going to tell you about Pivotal's project aims to change dog adoption perception worldwide. First, a bit about myself. My background in chemistry and physics, where I first met with a data scientist, and ever since I worked in this industry. I used to be a data scientist in a company, leader of a team of data scientists, a freelancer. And several years ago, I found a company, Pivotal, where we creating innovative data and AI-driven solution across many industries such as marketing, finance, manufacturing, healthcare, and many more. Also, I'm owner of 2 dogs, which lead us to the topic of my presentation. So yeah, traveling to different countries, I noticed how different these places looks in terms of dogs presence. Some places you can see a lot of pure breed dogs with their owners or stray dogs outside. But in some places you can see dogs clearly adopted and full in these places. So the question I'm wondering about is what is influence on the people's decision to take a dog from a shelter or from the street, or buy it, or even don't take it, even if you want the dog. And as a data scientist, I conducted a little research, and you can see summary of this research in this slide. So as you can see, again, you need to understand that the data about dogs populations and like fostering the dogs and owning dogs is really not accurate, because obviously there's in some places this data is not tracked with all necessary method, I would say. So, but what the data I was able to gather says that only 30% of all dogs population are owned. We can see some data across the countries. For example, in United States, 76 million dogs owned, and 2 million of dogs annually adopted, while 3.1 millions of dogs entering shelters every year. In China, we know that approximately 27 millions of dogs are there, and we don't have any accurate data regarding how many dogs are owned or adopted there, but it's clearly not a lot compared to this number. At the same time, in Brazil, there is a significant dog population with a high rate of dogs ownership per capita. In India, we saw 58% growth in the number of pet dogs over 5 years, last 5 years. In Argentina, is the highest rate of pet ownership per capita. It's 66. Imagine 66% of people owning a dog, and in Switzerland, experienced 10% decrease of number of pet dogs over last 5 years. So the one takeaway we should get from this bit of data is that percentage of dogs being owned in the country is not related with the economy or standards of living there, which is actually a good sign for us, because it's hard to change the economy in the country. So what then influence this decision of people to take dog from the take dog overall or not take it, or if someone taking a dog, is it buying a dog or adopt a dog from the shelter? So after finding some surveys and speaking with people working in an industry, I get an idea that if we're talking about a group of people who already want a dog, but they didn't decide if they willing to take the dog or not, and if they're willing to take, are they going to buy it, or are they going to adopt someone from the street or from the shelter or from the foster family? There are many misconceptions that lead to a decision not to take or buy rather than adopt. So you can see it's like the top 8 misconceptions are here, and all of them are actually false. So shelter dogs have behavior issue, which is not true. It's rather related with how you train your dog. Shelter dogs are old and sick, not necessary. It's again depends on how people care about their dogs or dogs in the shelter. Pure breeder dogs are better. It's just sounds like something unrelated with the facts. Shelter dogs are difficult to train. Shelter dogs are less affectionate. Shelter dogs are damaged. Shelter dogs are only mutts, and old dogs won't bond with new owners. So all of this is actually not true, but people really think, a lot of people think that for a lot of people, these are really reasons to not adopt a dog from the shelter. And at this point, I understand that this problem, this perception shifting might be done by providing more relevant and accurate information about the whole process of dog adoption. Yeah, about the whole process of this. So we designed an application in Pivotal, which ultimate goal of which is to gather attention of people who are interested in the topic and educate them and help them to go through the process of adoption and living with dog. So our application I just want to disclaimer: application is still developing, so there is no actual application live now, unfortunately. But again, we are in process of development. So this our application has three core feature: is to educate, to connect, and to support. And the mission is to get attention of the people and change their idea about getting dogs. So let's talk about each of these features separately. So yeah, community feature is basic. It's going to be basically like a social network, but with a topic, right? With and the topic is a dog. So people who own the dog can share their ideas, like from photos and some impression and use, you know, like social networks we knows like Instagram, etc. To share advices and support and stories and like asking and answer questions. The big thing here is educational content. We go into want people, the participant of our community, to share the content. So it can be a content from dogs owner, not professionals, and as well as professionals. So veterinarians, professional dog trainers, dog behavioral specialists. So we want all these specialists and again, just users to share content with each other to make it simpler for everyone in the community to work with their dogs. We're going to integrate as a software, AI, and data software development company. Of course, we're going to integrate AI there. Now we are integrating AI assistant in the application, which will help to match the dogs and potential owners, and also will provide AI trainer to the application. So people who don't want to be in the group or training with a real trainer, they can use an advantage technology and train their dogs with AI, which is also possible. But yeah, we're also going to integrate with the shelters to have online information about dogs existing and for existing and available for adoptions. Yeah, we're also going to fostering a local communities offline to host an event, meet, walking together, and sharing time with the dogs together. And in order to keep users' attention, we're going to add gamification element, like an awarding of different activities and admiration of some impact in the community. Yeah, we're going to connect people from a different point in this community, adopters with the rescue organization, fosters family, people who want to probably adopt dogs, and etc. Yeah, here how you can help. Unfortunately, there is no application yet, so you can't download it, but we are welcoming all ideas. You can share about the application, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing, Mr. Finkelstein. Yeah, and it's such a meaningful and insightful sharing. Okay, so now I would like to invite Mr. Tuấn Nguyễn from Vietnam Silicon Valley Foundation to share with us the topic VSV's contribution to sustainable development of Vietnam by investing and accelerating startups. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, first I want to thank you, Cambria, for having me with all the wonderful people all around the world. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see your screen now. Thank you.
Okay, so let me start with a little bit background. Yeah, the about why we start doing what we do. Basically, we are a acceleration that we invest and accelerate startup, and we focus on impact startup. So why we start? We want we work for the sustainable development of Vietnam and also the world. And these are some of the areas that we are willing to tackle. First one is gender equality. In Vietnam, women have great potential, but often being hindered by social and economic barrier. Only a small portion, only like 31% of entrepreneurs are women. So we want to raise that number become higher. Also, we want to reduce the inequality because Vietnam, we have small province, but only the big city. The startup ecosystem only focus on the big city. So we want to support more on the founder on the provincial area of Vietnam. And we want to have make Vietnam the people of Vietnam have more like decent work and economic growth. Like the majority of the people of Vietnam are working in agriculture industry, but this industry require a lot of workforce. Like 57% of Vietnam's population is working on this industry, but only contributing 19% to the economy's GDP. So it is kind of not efficient. So of course, also climate action. So the one more thing about why we're doing this is all about is just a lot of problems, right? But actually, the Vietnam economy is growing at a rapid and consistent rate. We have like something around like 7 to 8% growth every year. So we believe that by investing in startup and companies in Vietnam, we will help our investor and we will help ourselves gain financial benefit. So how we do it? We started to invest on a lot of startups like 10 years ago. Let me go a little bit quicker. For the past 10 years, we invested in more than 80 companies. Our investment activities are bootcamp and seed funding. Also, we invest and build Series A and Series B startup, and also investing in Series C. We have close connection with the government. Actually, let me show you a picture. Yeah, we Vietnam to build the startup ecosystem in each province. So we focus on these startups, agriculture, educational, environmental friendly, renewable energy, circular economy, digital products, and cultural and creative products. So why Vietnam, right? Like people here come from all over the world. So why we need to care about Vietnam, or maybe why you will want to go to Vietnam, or working in Vietnam, or do something in Vietnam, or investing in Vietnam. So basically, yeah, you can see this picture. This circle is there's 4 billion people living inside this circle, and in the center of this circle is Vietnam. So like small portion of the earth, but a lot of people living here. So a lot of people means a huge market, and with similarity in climate, culture, behavior, and living standard. Like we are all of these majority of the nations in this circle are developing country, and developing country have a lot of problems to solve. And maybe one problem solved in Vietnam, or one solution developed in Vietnam, can be applied to a lot of a lot of people in this circle, or apply to all over the world. So yeah, those slides is to tell you about like why you would want to like why you will want to work with us if you want to go into Vietnam and do businesses or investing in Vietnam. Like we have close connection with the Vietnam government. Basically, we are born from the government, and like we have the support from the Prime Minister of Vietnam. Yeah, let me be quick. Maybe I'm a little bit too. Yeah, so this part is important, right? Room for win-win partnership. We are a VC, and we have funding to invest in startup, and we also incubating and do some educational activity to help those startup grow. So with 10 years of experience in investing and helping startup grow, we are confident to turn capital into social and financial benefit. Also, I consider all of you here are people from all over the world, maybe developing country, and we have like developed country here. So we can be a launch pad for international startup to expand to Vietnam. For example, like how climate, you can go to Vietnam and grow hemp plant in Vietnam, and build your your factory to build the brick in Vietnam, for example. Or you guys here can be the launch pad for Vietnam startup, our portfolio to go global. And together we will build a global impact investment community. There's a lot of opportunities to collaborate. Yeah, I think I say everything I wanted to say. Yeah, thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Tung, for your impressive sharing with your project's meaningful journey. One more time, thank you so much. Yeah, and we also have noted some questions that raised from our community that we would love to share with our member projects. Yeah, so let's start with the two questions that we can note it for the pivotal AI. Yeah, so the first question is, how does your approach to rapid MVP creation help clients validate their ideas
Молчи.
quickly? And what key factors do you consider critical during this process? Yeah, I would like to invite Mr. Fincanston. Please help us to share your answer. Thank you.
Yeah, so the MVP approach is an iterative approach where we try to minimize resources required for each step. What does it mean? For example, you want to create a product and it's a brand new product. And this is what we usually do. Usually we create, we work with startup or new businesses. And so usually people don't want to spend a lot of money and time before they understand if there is a product market fit or not. Because your product might be good, the market might be mature, but at the same time, the product market fit just may not exist. So we need to check. And we try to spend less time, as less time and money as we can, create something which is called minimal viable product, which has only necessary function, show it to user, to market, make sure it works, make sure it's market needed, and then we can go to next iteration, improve it, show it again, make sure these changes are needed. And again, along this way, we make all these changes in idea of the product, in maybe some functions, in marketing presentation of this product to the market. And the same way in this application we're going to do. So we're going to create something smaller, we're going to show it to the market, we're going to make sure it will work, it can bring people attention and keep it. And yeah, I think this is a
Yeah, we also noted such a very interesting question from Miss Lin. Yeah, so Mr. Fincanston, we also noted that could you please elaborate on how the AI assistant matches a dog with an adopter, and is the app available now?
Unfortunately, as I mentioned, the app is not available now. It's still under development. We're going to finish development by the end of the summer, I think. About process matching. So this is this is a machine learning algorithms take place. It's not always can be explained, but in this case, actually we can. So here, machine learning algorithm takes habits of people, their way of living, their level of activity, their desirable level of activity, and etc. So it gathers some information from the user, and there is a well-known there are well-known features of a different breeds and different dogs in terms of, again, level of activities they need, level of I would say participation in life of each other. Some dog can be highly independent. Some dogs need need you to hug them like every hour. So we try to make a good match, good fit between a potential dog owner and a dog, so they can live comfort with each other, in comfort with each other. So
Yeah, thank you so much for the insightful sharing. We note it and we share again with the community. Yeah, so move
Thank
to
you.
yeah, thank you. So move to our next question is for Vietnam Silicon Valley Foundation. Yeah, so Mr. Tuấn Nguyễn, please help us to share your answer for the question. Could you elaborate on how VSV plans to enhance its collaboration with tech partners and what specific initiatives are in place to support this goal? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Vietnam Silicon Valley as a VC, we have funding and we have experience in financing projects in Vietnam and also in the world. But it's like mostly our fund would come from the foreign country, like come from globally, and then pouring into Vietnam to make the changes in Vietnam. So I think that all everybody here and also like the community, Cambria community, all like there's a lot of innovative people here with a lot of wonderful technology, and I think that when we combine financial finance like funding with technology, we can make the impact become broader and faster. Let me be specific. Maybe we can do something about like a kind of like a hackathon, but with specific funding already, like hackathon, but with funding that committed to funding the solution in that hackathon. Actually, especially in the climate tech, or especially in the carbon market. I mean, like Vietnam, Vietnam government have committed to be net zero by 2050. Like our government committed that. So our government and also like Vietnamese people would would do everything to draw the funding from all over the world for Vietnam, like to help Vietnam achieve that goal. So basically, I see that in the future it would have a lot of funding going into Vietnam to help Vietnam achieve net zero. And speaking of not just Vietnam, I think not every country in Southeast Asia, for example, or even China, have that committed to. So the funding for climate tech or some technology to help the world solve the carbon problem is huge. So together we can apply to get those funding. When we sit together, we can make the proposal to secure the funding, and then with our expertise, like our expertise in making and executing the acceleration program or bootcamp program, we can execute that program to find the solution. So secure the funding, execute a hackathon, and then finding the solution. I think all of you here can be the judge or the advisor on that program, and I believe that together we can make a good proposal to secure the funding. Yeah, I think that I appreciate and maybe looking forward to some for next steps on that.
Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing. We are well noted now. Yeah, so from the our member project from Mr. Amit Sahas, we also noted a question and would like to raise with Mr. Van Kelsten. Yeah, so Mr. Van Kelsten, the question is that could the app be used for other animals like cow adoption or purchase as well? So please help to share your answer. Thank you.
Excuse me, is it question for me? If yes, can you please repeat it, because I think the connection was poor for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, so I will repeat the question for you. Yeah, so the question is, could the app be used for other animals like cow adoption or purchase as well? Yeah.
I think in theory, yes, but it needs to be adapted to the environment and institutes, because for a dog, I think the closest thing is for cats, because dogs and cats, I would say infrastructure in the cities and perceptions are pretty close in terms of like the shelters and pet friendly places and veterinaries. But regarding cows, I think it should be slightly changed. But in theory, yeah, it can be used for a wider range of pets.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope that Mr. Amit can receive the question now, and we are also well noted. Thank you so much for your sharing, Mr. Van Kasten. Yeah, so for now, we also see that we have such very different interesting questions from our community. Yeah, and it's time to help us to raise more questions and receive amazing answers from the member projects. Yeah, so we have a question for Mr. Gary. Yeah, so first of all, please wait a bit. Yeah, so Mr. Gary Burns, for the Tau climate, we have another question from the community. So could you describe how Tau climate has successfully influenced policy changes at the national or international levels? And what strategies have been most effective in these efforts? Please help us to share your answers. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. A great question. We're still very much educating the world about the benefits of hemp in terms of both its carbon removal potential and also the amazing products that can be made from hemp. Essentially, anything that can be done with fossil fuels can be done with hemp, but with a zero carbon effect on climate and the environment. Hemp has so many benefits, including it cleans the soil when it grows, for example, phytoremediation. But still, there is a little bit of confusion around hemp because it's related to another plant called cannabis, which is used for medical and narcotic effects. So back in 1937, the fossil fuel industry was growing in the United States. So they created propaganda movies, racist propaganda movies and campaigns, basically to get cannabis and hemp banned because they were similarly kind of classified together. So in 1937, hemp, the industrial plant, was completely banned in the US. And because the US had such an influence on the UN in later years and other countries around the world, hemp was banned in many countries because the fossil fuel industry and the plastics industry needed to get this natural solution out of the way. So it was only recently in 2018 that industrial hemp was reclassified in the US. So now it's re-emerging as the solution to so many of our problems. Hemp was actually the world's oldest cultivated plant in Asia. 12,000 years ago, it was grown for its fiber primarily, but also as a food source. So we're still very much educating. And for example, we're lobbying the UN to ensure that industrial hemp is completely declassified at a global level, which means it removes any risk from our partner growers or builders that, you know, they don't want to have this worry that there's a chance that somehow that their activity will get them into trouble with the law because of this old racist and confused classification of an industrial plant which cannot be used for any narcotic purposes. So that is something very important to us as education, but we feel that the time is right for hemp to reclaim its position as the most important plant in the world and the plant that can actually replace fossil fuels in terms of bioplastics, biodiesels, biocomposite materials, so many positive products and services that hemp can deliver everywhere in the world. So it's a very exciting time, and you know we would welcome everybody's participation and assistance to help us to tell this amazing story.
Yeah, thank you so much for a wonderful journey. And we also hope that we can collaborate and accompany you all on this meaningful project. Okay, so thank you so much for your sharing, Mr. Gary Burns. I'll move to the second question from the community is for Mr. Amit Saha from Fox Global Research and Consultancy Center. So the question is, can you describe the most significant impacts of the vocal keys and hubs on local farming communities since their inception? So please help to share your answers. Thank you.
Yes, so the vocal Kishan hubs. So this at a pilot scale, we have started in one location in the western part of India in Gujarat. So the main idea behind this was to see how farmers are reacting to this kind of initiative. Of course, this hub concept is quite popular in Europe, where you have this the hubs to act as pockets of extension agency. Right now, it is more under the government domain, where we have we call it Krishi Seva Kendra, or it is agriculture extension point. So private initiative into this is not that popular in India, but this is coming up will come up in the future in a big way, because there is a huge potential to improve the productivity is quite low if you compare in agriculture or in dairy. The issue is that when we go into the community, the first thing is to understand the context, like what is the real issues and the background that is very important, and how you can create a local alliance. So that takes some time. So once that is established, for that we need to take the help of the local NGOs in the area, and then build the rapport with the community, and slowly it takes some time. But once it is launched, and that's where we are still in the experimental stage right now in one part of India. So let's see how it delves into. And right now we are into this making of this vermicompost from manure, as dairy is quite a significant activity in India. So that is then. And second thing is we are doing the local benchmarking of the dairy farms. Like you need to understand where that farm really stands on various indicators, social, economic, environmental, and so that people really are educated and know that what is the next step forward. So slow and steady, but yeah, we are progressing.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you so much, Mr. Amit Saha, for your sharing. So move to one more question that we also received from the community that we noted in the chat box. From this one, Miss Madeline Nandagia Kazindu, please help her to share your answer. And they would love to hear more from you, Mubayi Elevate, a short story of when you encounter difficulties in training and education on maternal and child health safety. Okay, so please help us to share your perspectives and ideas. Thank you.
Hello. So actually, sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm at work, I'm sorry. So, actually, okay, in educating people, we did not encounter any issues because we have the content, we have doctors on the team, and like people in the science field, and preparing the content and giving it to people. There was no issues, but the bigger issue was getting people to understand what we're doing, and making them interested, and enabling them to come, and like getting them interested. So in educating them, we did not encounter any problems, and getting the specialists and doctors, it was not difficult for us because we have doctors on the team who would liaise with their fellows and invite them. But making people understand like this whole new thing, and getting them interested, and understanding the importance. And the other thing, like which was even more difficult, is getting men to come to the events, because they thought this was a women thing. They're the parents. They should attend those events, and no men should come. But a few, we still have a few who come, but the number of men is not that good. So that's the issue. But in regards to giving the content and preparing the content and getting people to do that, it was not an issue at all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing such an inspirational journey, and also thanks a lot for your effort. Yeah, so thank you, Miss Kazindu. Yeah, so one more question noted from our team member, Mr. Ivan Tae. Yeah, so we would love to raise for our member project is Tau Climate. Yeah, so the question here is that he has a question that I have browsed to your website and have a question. How can individuals can join or contribute to reduce the carbon dioxide? Yeah, so Mr. Gary Burns, please help us to share your answer. Thank you so much.
Yes, we want to make it easy for people to take action on their carbon footprint. So we have tools on the site to help people and companies calculate their carbon footprint. And as we build out our technology platform, we will be introducing AI to help people really to understand their carbon footprint, to measure it and to manage it. And then also we already have our Ukraine carbon credits for sale on the platform. So whether somebody wants to take action on an individual level or on a company level, we have carbon credits for sale, which are certified by Google and also verified by third parties in Ukraine. 2/3 of our revenues from carbon credit sales go directly to the building projects. So what we're doing is we're funding necessary building projects. So it's essentially, it's a win-win-win situation. That's what we want to deliver. And if you're not ready to commit to purchase carbon credits yet, please join us for our newsletter, which is called The Way. And that enables you to just keep in touch with us, and then you can reach out to us, and we'd be happy to assist you in any way that we can.
Yeah, so inspirational as well. So we see that after your sharing, absolutely everyone really wants to join the journey. Yeah, thank you so much. We well
Thank
noted. Yeah. Okay, so one more time, thank you, our speakers, for your insightful presentations and your sharing with the community. Now, we would like to announce the mini game that will be organized after this SIIA launch event for the community to join. Yeah, so please help us to follow our presentation here. Yeah, so mini game, it's a promotion activity for the community to learn more about the member projects of our alliance and engage with their presentation in the launch event. Cambria hosts the mini game via quiz form on Cambria platform in May for the community to join. Mini games winners will be rewarded with e-gift cards from participating member projects in Cambria. Yeah, so how to join the mini game? The participants can register information on the Cambria About Day. They can take the quiz and then they can submit. We will qualify your answers to verify the winners. And the 5 participants who do the fastest and most accurately will be the winners. So move to the next one. We would love to share with you the 10 questions from participating member projects and Cambria. So you can take a look at the member projects presentations again and join the quiz on the Cambria platform. Yeah. So for our next milestone, the mini game will be organized via Cambria platform in May, and the detailed routes and instructions will be soon inform the community on Cambria Discord channel. So please stay tuned. Please join SIIA channels in Cambria Discord for new updates and discussions regarding activities of the Alliance and the mini game. We also have the partner room, a private channel for internal discussion between member projects on Discord. So thank you once again to all our esteemed speakers and participants for gracing us with your presence at the SIIA launch event. If you have any questions or any suggestions, please feel free to contact us. We really hope that you have such a great time. Have a good day or a good night. And thank you and goodbye for now. Thank you. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for
Thank
this event.
you. Thank you so much.